Hi, my name is Rich Eiler, and I'm with the NorthPoint Group. Today I'm going to provide an overview of one of our 12 products that comprise a suite of integrated solutions that are part of our marketing and sales suite. The product is called Buyer-Seller Market Management, BSMM for short, and is used to reduce the risk of an offering not meeting expectations in the market. More specifically, the product is used in both business-to-business sales as well as business-to-consumer sales in providing the intelligence to the selling enterprise on the exact risks the buyers perceive in the offering as well as the specific value propositions that resonate with buyers. The product can be used throughout the life cycle of the offering. So why are the concepts of risk and value so important? Every offering competes on providing the most value at the lowest risk. Prospective customers spend 75 to 80% of their time focused on risk in the purchase decision cycle. Therefore, prospective customers spend only 20 to 25% of their focus on value. Yet 85% of marketing dollars are spent on value, not risk. Prospective customers rarely identify all of their value requirements at any one time. They typically need assistance to remind them of the complete set of value opportunities, as they typically miss 6 to 7 value propositions. Prospective customers may be in different buying cycles: growing, tactical, strategic, dormant, or dissatisfied, and therefore will score the offer accordingly. Understanding the gaps in the views of buyers and sellers is key to success of an offering. Let me provide an example based on the use of the Buyer-Seller Market Management product. If the gap of value and risk exceeds 20% between the buyer and the seller loses between 5 and 6% of the market for each point. If the gap is 30%, the offering will lose between 50 and 60% of the entire market opportunity. The sales cycle is directly impacted by the gap in risk and value of an offering in the mind of the prospective customer. And finally, market messages need to be developed for the prospective customer based on what part of the buying cycle they are in and the value propositions that resonate with those prospective customers. NorthPoint has identified 36 purchase attributes that are incorporated into the Buyer-Seller Market Management product. The 36 proprietary purchase attributes include 14 buying criteria, risks, and 22 value propositions. These 36 attributes are used with the enterprise marketing and sales organizations as well as prospective customers to validate the risk and value for the offerings as well as the competitor offerings. The use of Buyer-Seller Market Management enables new concepts and offerings to be tested in the market with a very high degree of accuracy. New buyers and customers need to be asked all of the buying criteria and value propositions. Otherwise, they identify 21% of the buying criteria and 23% of the value propositions. Consequently, they miss 75 to 80% of the important buying elements. And finally, the knowledge of the prospective customer's view of the value propositions and buying criteria is absolutely critical to the marketing, sales and service, and product development areas. NorthPoint's process is fast, easy to learn, meaning it can be implemented and delivered internally by internal resources and provides the prescription for offering success. The process includes the following steps: creating an offering document, typically 2 to 3 pages, that describes the offering and the associated value propositions. NorthPoint then works with the client to customize the buying criteria and value propositions for their specific industry and offering. Then a facilitated session with those key internal stakeholders is held: marketing, sales, offering development. This takes part of a day. The internal stakeholders analyze and score the buying criteria and value propositions. They determine which buying criteria are important to their existing or potential customers and score how well they satisfy them. They also determine what value propositions they commit to deliver and score how well they deliver them at this point in time. The internal stakeholders may also analyze and score the buying criteria and value propositions of the competitor offerings. In this case, they determine which buying criteria are important to their competitors' customers and score how well their competitors satisfy them, as well as determine what value propositions their competitors commit to deliver and score how well their competitors deliver them. The scored statements, including the value propositions and buying criteria, are benchmarked against NorthPoint's best-in-class database. We then jointly identify the prospective customers that will be interviewed. This takes about 5 to 6 hours to identify and coordinate the interview, which lasts approximately an hour. We then conduct target buyer and customer interviews utilizing the offering document, the value propositions, and buying criteria. Target buyers, and sometimes customers, score how well the offering satisfies their buying criteria, as well as how well the offering delivers the committed value propositions. We may also conduct competitor customer interviews utilizing the offering document and the value propositions and buying criteria. Competitors' customers score how well their competitors' offerings satisfy their buying criteria, as well as the competitor's offering delivers the committed value propositions. We then complete the analytics in the management report, which includes an analysis of gaps between the product team's view and the target buyer's view, as well as the documentation of the cause of those gaps from target buyer feedback. We also identify how to close the gap, target market validation that the offering meets the buyer's value expectations and requirements. We do a comparison of the enterprise scoring of the offering to the competitor scoring, both by buyers and customers, and impact on the financial opportunity and performance in the market. And finally, the development of the action plan and the solution based on the assessment results. On this slide is some sample buyer-seller market management output, the buying criteria and the value proposition scoring, and the differences between the target buyers and the enterprise. In this case, you can see the differences between the target buyers and the enterprise, and initially they don't appear to be significant, but scoring at the individual buying criteria and value proposition level are significant. In this case, the scoring of the offering indicates failure in the marketplace. You can see the average buying criteria score, you can see the minimum for success, and the same thing with the value propositions. And then beneath that, you can see the differences in how the buyers and sellers scored the actual buying criteria and the value propositions. In addition to scoring, we also capture actual prospective customer quotes for clarification purposes. So, what are the buyer-seller market management process attributes? It's a comprehensive, accurate, and consistent and repeatable approach. It's a structured team approach. It's data-driven. It's target buyer-driven. Provides differentiation by buyer segment. Provides knowledge to build a competitive displacement strategy. Reduces the time to obtain market knowledge to deliver the shortest sales cycle in the industry. Reduces internal time to market and time to profitability, and enables continuous connectivity to the market. Buyers do change. This slide contains a compilation of the economic and strategic value NorthPoint customers have achieved from the use of the buyer-seller market management process. You can see increased revenue for existing offerings, 27%. In many instances, those revenues were trending down. Improved cash flow, reducing the sales cycle. You can see year 1 and year 2. Reduced time to profitability from 61 months to 13 months. Increased revenue per salesperson. Identified the value and the scoring of each of the possible 22 value propositions. Which are the most and least important value props? Which ones have reduced, in this case, the evaluation time, and you can see the time associated with that. Identified and then reduced the risks in the mind of the buyer. Improved the brand value significantly. Developed and delivered an accurate market message, and the impact on the competitors. Lengthened their sales cycle, forced them to spend more time responding to the market message, and forced them to spend more time on Salesforce training. In addition, it enables the seller to segment the target market by buyer type. Provides the seller the capability to refine its market message to meet buyer demands while addressing specific issues within the different buyer segments. Provides competitive knowledge to establish displacement and win-back strategies. Measures and prioritizes all of the possible value propositions most important to new buyers and indexes that risk potential. Validates new concepts prior to the start of significant development dollars. Predicts the financial impact based on the results of the gap between the buyer and the seller. And finally, typically identifies 2 to 3 new customer opportunities. So the payback is tremendous, not only in what was described, but the process is going to provide customer opportunities, new customer opportunities. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please visit the NorthPoint website, www.northpointgroup.net. On that same website, you can see the individuals that lead the business, and you can always contact them with any of your questions. Thanks.